it's the first time I have to actually, deal with so much as a single mother.
Imagine the world's most iconic soccer player cheating on a global superstar. That's right, Shakira's partner's scandal didn't just break hearts, it broke records. Get ready for the jaw-dropping story behind Shakira's revenge anthem. Let's dive into the top 20 musician affairs that destroyed careers. And trust me, you won't see these bombshells coming.
In your head about what approach you're going to take. And usually, by the time you've gone through those changes,
20. Eric Clapton fell in love with George Harrison's wife. What happens when two of the biggest rock stars in history are tangled in a love triangle? Well, this one is about legendary heartbreak. British model Pattie Boyd was married to Beatles star George Harrison from 1966 to 1977. Several factors caused the end of their marriage, including Harrison's drug use and infidelities, with the rocker having an affair with bandmate Ringo Starr's wife, Maureen Starkey. However, Harrison was not entirely at fault for the demise of their marriage. Before the couple split, Boyd fell in love with Harrison's close friend, creating one of music history's most talked about love affairs. Boyd had an affair with musician Eric Clapton, who didn't hide his fascination with the model. He wrote one of his most famous songs, Layla, about Boyd. He would later write Wonderful Tonight for Boyd too. Decades later, she recalled to People, "I knew it was about me, and I was rather nervous because I thought, if George hears this, I'm sure he'll guess it's for me as well. George and I hadn't split up, and I was trying to hang on to him, but Eric was trying to steer me away. I was torn." Boyd ended her marriage to Harrison in 1977 and wed Clapton in 1979. However, Boyd and the singer split in 1988 after Clapton was caught having an affair of his own. In an interview with the New York Times, Clapton later stated that his relationship with Harrison had not been strained after he married his good friend's wife. The late Beatle was once quoted as saying, "I'd rather she be with him than some dope."
To take these small moments that we all find ourselves in and make it be something that you felt like.
19. Alicia Keys made amends with Swizz Beatz' ex-wife. Can a love affair destroy a family and still have a happy ending? Alicia Keys, Swizz Beatz, and his ex-wife, Mashonda Tifrera, prove it's possible. Grammy winner Alicia Keys and her husband, music producer Swizz Beatz, did not have a fairy tale start to their romance. The Girl on Fire singer was accused of having an affair with Beatz, who was married to his first wife, Mashonda Tifrera, around 2008. Though Beatz stated that he and Tifrera were no longer together when he connected with Keys, Tifrera had a differing opinion. In 2009, Tifrera alleged on Twitter that Keys was the reason for her marriage ending, stating that the singer assisted in destroying a family, adding, "I feel that after 1.5 years of you hiding this affair and acting like it doesn't exist, that now is the time to confront it, since you talk so openly about it now. You have no idea how much pain I was caused because of this affair." In May 2010, Beatz and Tifrera's divorce was finalized, and that same month, Keys and Beatz announced their engagement and that they were expecting. The couple wed 2 months later and welcomed their son named Egypt that October. Beatz also shares a son with his ex-wife. The couple and Tifrera are now on good terms. Keys said in People in 2018, "Mashonda and Swizz and I worked and prayed together and allowed the space for everyone to be heard. It's one of the things I'm most proud of."
Denny was always on the phone to this mysterious Cass Elliot.
18. John and Michelle Phillips. What if the same affair that causes heartbreak also breaks up one of the most famous bands of the 60s? The Mamas and the Papas weren't immune to scandal. Alongside Cass Elliot and Dennis Doherty, married couple John and Michelle Phillips comprised the 1960s counterculture folk group The Mamas and the Papas. Utilizing vocal arrangements organized by John, the group became one of the best-selling musical acts of the 1960s, selling nearly 40 million records worldwide. After it was revealed Michelle had engaged in extramarital affairs with both bandmate Dennis Doherty and Gene Clark of the Byrds, John had Michelle fired from the group in June 1966. Michelle was replaced with singer Jill Gibson until her membership in the group was reinstated in August of 1966. Following years of internal turmoil, the group officially disbanded in early 1969, and John and Michelle obtained a divorce that May. After the dissolution of the group, Elliot, Doherty, and John embarked on solo careers to varying degrees of success, while Michelle became an actor, making appearances on shows like Star Trek: The Next Generation and Knots Landing.
You look beautiful. You are beautiful, inside and out, Blake.
17. Blake Shelton fell in love with Miranda Lambert while married to his first wife. Can you imagine falling in love on stage while you're still married? That's exactly what happened when Blake Shelton met Miranda Lambert. Country singer Blake Shelton has said he had romantic feelings when he and Miranda Lambert hit the stage together to perform at the CMT 100 Greatest Duets concert in 2005. The only problem was that Shelton was married to his first wife, Kaynette Williams, and Lambert was dating Jeff Allen McManus. Shelton and Lambert denied having an affair, but the God Gave Me You singer divorced his wife in 2006, and he began dating Lambert soon after. The pair wed in 2011. Throughout Shelton and Lambert's relationship, there were a lot of cheating rumors, and by 2015, their marriage was over. In 2018, word got out that Lambert had struck up a romance with fellow musician Evan Felker, who was apparently still married at the time. After this story broke, Shelton offered up a vague tweet about karma, but was quick to suggest to E.T. that it wasn't actually about his ex. Regardless, McManus took a swipe at Shelton in a since-deleted tweet. You know, I've always given you the benefit of the doubt and chalked it up to just being human. But you must be one arrogant SOB to pop off something like this when I know damn good and well you were cheating on your wife and Miranda was cheating on me when you two started up, he wrote.
I don't even want to be here anymore.
16. Jana Kramer's husband had a sex addiction. Imagine being married to someone with a secret addiction that's wrecking your relationship. Jana Kramer's marriage was a public roller coaster of betrayals. Jana Kramer's marriage with former NFL player Mike Cosson was filled with ups and downs. The pair got married in 2015, and the following year they welcomed their first child, a daughter named Jolie. However, that August, the couple announced they were separating, with Cosson seeking treatment for sex addiction. Revealing that Cosson was unfaithful, Kramer told People, "Mike was the biggest of the betrayals because it was the first time in a relationship where I truly loved the version of me. I didn't feel I had to prove that I was good enough. I was vulnerable and finally at peace with myself." The couple worked through their issues, renewing their vows in 2017 and welcomed a second child, a son named JayZ, in 2018. However, they faced other obstacles in their marriage. In 2019, the couple revealed in their then joint podcast, Wind Down with Jana Kramer and Mike Cosson, that Cosson had a relapse in his sex addiction, but he did not cheat on Kramer with another woman in a physical way. That same year, Kramer revealed on their podcast that she had found inappropriate photos in her husband's phone. Though they managed to work through their difficult times, it was too much for Kramer, and the couple split for good in April 2021. Cosson had allegedly cheated on Kramer with multiple women. Their divorce was finalized in July 2021, with the pair sharing custody of their 2 children.
Yeah, there's a couple of those.
We left it in there because the whole spirit and tone of the show is it's more of a comedy than anything.
15. Leanne Rimes and Eddie Cibrian's affair caused an uproar. What happens when a romance scandal is so dramatic that it turns into a public soap opera? Leanne Rimes and Eddie Cibrian's affair rocked Hollywood. The affair between country star Leanne Rimes and Eddie Cibrian was like something out of a soap opera. After working together on the set of their 2008 film Northern Lights, reports alleged that the two were romantically linked. At the time, Rimes was still very married to Dean Sharamet, whereas Cibrian was still hitched to his first wife, Brandy Glanville. When the rumors of an affair made headlines, both Rimes and Cibrian denied them. However, in 2009, both stars left their respective spouses. Cibrian filed divorce from Glanville in August, while Rhimes and Sharamet announced their plans for divorce in September. By March 2010, a year after the affair Tittle Tattle first made headlines, the singer and Cibrian were spotted vacationing in Mexico. The How Do I Live singer even owned up to the cheating, telling people, "I did one of the most selfish things that I possibly could do in hurting someone else. I take responsibility for everything I've done. I hate that people got hurt, but I don't regret the outcome." In April 2011, Rhimes and Cibrian tied the knot. In 2018, after years of tension, Rhimes and Cibrian's ex-wife put their differences aside with the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star sharing a smiling selfie with the singer on Instagram. The two were celebrating Glanville and Cibrian's son Jake's birthday. Glanville and Cibrian are also the parents of a second son named Mason.
You know, Paula is a wonderful artistic partner.
14. Robin Thicke's Blurred Lines of Infidelity. Imagine hitting the top of the charts with the song of the summer, only to have your personal life crash down around you. Robin Thicke lived that exact nightmare. Robin Thicke became a megastar after his song Blurred Lines became the song of the summer in 2013. Based on the song's lyrics, what happened next shouldn't have come as a surprise. Despite being married to actress Paula Patton, Thicke was caught touching a fan inappropriately while the two were taking a picture in front of a mirror. Amidst that story and several other claims that he continued to cheat on Patton, she called it quits on their marriage. Robin then turned his next album into one long attempt to win Patton back. Sadly, the record failed to duplicate his previous success, selling only 550 copies in Canada, 530 copies in the UK, and 158 copies in Australia.
Yes, that is so electrifying. You know, at first we weren't sure how we would fit in.
13. Adam Lavine got a little too flirty on Instagram. Imagine sending a DM that nearly wrecks your marriage. That's what happened when Adam Lavine slid into the wrong inbox on Instagram. In September 2022, Maroon 5 singer Adam Levine found himself in hot water when Instagram model Sumner Stroh came forward and accused the artist of cheating on his wife, Victoria's Secret model Bahati Prinsloo. Not only did Stroh claim that she and Levine had a year-long affair, but she even shared screenshots that allegedly showed the payphone singer asking Stroh if he could name his third child after her. Meanwhile, multiple women also came forward to claim that Levine had also inappropriately messaged them on Instagram. Levine denied cheating on his wife, but confirmed he went too far when speaking to women online. "I did not have an affair. Nevertheless, I crossed the line during a regrettable period in my life," Levine shared on Instagram. Meanwhile, Prinsloo had stayed silent and did not publicly comment on the allegations. She even supported her husband when he performed at an October charity event. The couple appeared to have weathered the storm, and the affair allegations died down by the new year. In January 2023, Prinsloo gave birth to the couple's third child, but there's no word on what they named their baby. In March, the couple made a rare appearance together when attending Vanity Fair's Oscars after party. Photos showed the couple smiling, with Levine even giving his wife a sweet kiss on the cheek.
We love you. Oh my gosh. You're one of my favorite guests we've had on the show and one of my favorite performers ever.
12. Shakira turned her husband's infidelity into a hit song. What happens when one of the world's biggest stars turns heartbreak into a global hit? Shakira's breakup anthem shattered records and exposed her ex's affair. In June 2022, Shakira shocked fans when she and her partner of 11 years, Gerard Piqué, announced that they were calling it quits. The pair never married but share 2 children, Milan and Sasha. Some months after their split, Shakira suggested things ended on a sour note. In January 2023, she teamed up with Bizarrap for Bizrap Music Sessions Volume 53, a song that sure seems to take aim at Piqué and his alleged affair. The single was an instant smash and broke a number of records. Piqué made his relationship with Clara Chiamarti official on Instagram in January 2023, but it looks like their romance had been going on for some time. As Page 6 pointed out, Marti was spotted in the background of one of Piqué's Zoom calls all the way back in 2021. Oh, but the story only gets stickier from there. According to Show News, the Hips Don't Lie singer evidently suspected something was amiss after she realized someone had eaten some of her strawberry jam while she was away. Piqué apparently isn't a fan of the stuff, so Shakira reportedly deduced that another woman must have been staying there. And of course, there's the witch doll that Shakira put on her balcony directed at Piqué's mother's home. Rumor has it that this was in response to Piqué's mother and new girlfriend supposedly calling her a witch. Yikes. 11. Richard Wagner and Cosima Liszt's scandalous affair. What happens when a brilliant composer falls for his best friend's wife? Richard Wagner's affair didn't just destroy friendships, it scandalized the entire classical music world. In classical music lore, perhaps no romance caused more scandal than the one between German opera composer Richard Wagner and Cosima Liszt, daughter of Hungarian piano superstar Franz Liszt. In 1857, while composing his epic 15-plus hour Ring cycle, the married Wagner first met young Cosima Liszt, then wife of Wagner's friend, student, and conducting protege Hans von Bülow. Wagner was instantly smitten with the striking intellectual Cosima, and she with him. By 1865, they brazenly embarked on an affair, scandalizing the classical community. Cosima soon divorced Bülow to marry Wagner in 1870. Even more shocking, the ceremony took place mere weeks before the birth of Wagner and Cosima's second daughter, confirming rumors she had gotten pregnant by Wagner while still married to Bülow. The affair's fallout was far-reaching. Liszt adored Wagner's music, even conducting the premiere of Wagner's opera Lohengrin, but their affair enraged him. Bülow similarly revered Wagner as a composer, having conducted the premieres of Wagner's sensational operas Tristan und Isolde and Die Meistersinger von Nuremberg. Yet, understandably, the betrayal by his wife and mentor left Bülow emotionally devastated. The public also turned against Wagner, lambasting him as an immoral homewrecker. The Munich Opera even banned him for a period. Yet Cosima proved an invaluable supporter of Wagner's works for the rest of his life. After marrying, Cosima took total charge of Wagner's business affairs, shrewdly negotiating contracts and freeing him to compose. Thanks to her efforts, Wagner enjoyed financial stability and was able to complete his ambitious Ring cycle. Cosima also meticulously documented his work and creative process for posterity. Wagner came to rely utterly on her musical judgment, considering Cosima his muse and only earthly love. When Wagner died in 1883, Cosima devoted herself to establishing the annual Bayreuth Festival, promoting his work, cementing Wagner as one of classical's most essential composers. So, while igniting one of music's biggest scandals, Cosima was also the devoted champion behind Wagner's enduring legacy.
I was born 32, so
10. Johnny Cash was married when he met June Carter Cash. Ever wondered how a legendary love story can start with an affair? Johnny Cash and June Carter's relationship wasn't exactly smooth from the start. Although Johnny Cash and June Carter Cash's marriage lasted almost 4 decades, their relationship began as an affair. The Ring of Fire singer's first wife was Vivian Liberto, who he married in 1954 and welcomed 4 daughters with. However, their family life wasn't easy, with the couple's daughter Roseanne Cash sharing in the documentary My Darling Vivian via Rolling Stone that the kids had to grapple with their father's addiction to drugs and their mother's mental health struggles. Nevertheless, Johnny dedicated his first #1 hit, Walk the Line, to his wife. The song, which was released in 1956, was a promise that the singer would remain faithful to Vivian as he toured on the road. However, that all came crashing down when Johnny started his affair with singer June Carter, prompting Vivian to file for divorce from her husband in 1966. Johnny and June married 2 years later. In a 2019 interview with People, Roseanne noted that the circumstances were hard on her mother, but she didn't resent June for how things played out. It seemed inevitable, though it was so painful for my mom. I had 2 really good examples from women in my life. My mom gave me this powerful sense of discipline, family, mothering, and detail orientation. And June gave me this sense of expansiveness and how to live life as a performer, Roseanne shared. The couple remained married until June died in May 2003. Johnny would die just 4 months later in September 2003.
My name's David Bowie, and a very warm welcome to
9. David Bowie and Lori Maddox. How dark does rock and roll get? David Bowie's relationship with Lori Maddox shows the troubling side of fame and its effects on the young. David Bowie's involvement with Lori Maddox is one of rock's most controversial affairs. Bowie, then an established rock icon, was significantly older than Maddox, who was only 15 when they first met. This relationship took place in the early 1970s, a time when the rock scene often blurred the lines of acceptable behavior. Maddox was part of the infamous group of young women known as the Baby Groupies, who were regularly seen at concerts and parties. Despite the problematic nature of their relationship, Maddox remains part of Bowie's legacy, highlighting a darker side of the rock and roll mythos.
Just a place that I could go and be very quiet. It's a very quiet place. It's very beautiful.
8. Shania Twain's husband's affair led her to true love. What if your heartbreak led you to the love of your life? Shania Twain's husband's affair turned into a story of unexpected love and healing. Shania Twain has been happily married to her second husband, Frédéric Thibault, for over a decade. However, the pair's relationship began under very unexpected circumstances. In December 1993, Twain married her first husband, music producer Robert John Mutt Lang, who helped the songstress launch an incredibly successful career. Unfortunately, their collaborating days were over by 2008, when Lang was accused of having an affair with Twain's close friend, Marie Anne Thibault, who happened to be married to Frédéric Thibault. The You're Still the One singer and her husband split, and their divorce was finalized in 2010. Frédéric also divorced his wife, and he struck up a very close bond with Twain after both had gone through a terrible heartbreak. In 2011, she told Redbook, "I got to observe Fred going through the same thing I was, and I admired how he handled it. That is where I fell in love with him because he was exemplary in every way." Twain and Frédéric wed on New Year's Day 2011. They've been going strong ever since, with the country star telling People in 2020, "When you have great loss, you lose faith. You get very discouraged. I'm sure a lot of people say, 'I'm never going to love again. I never want to fall in love again.' Songs have been written about that. I'm really glad that that got turned around for me, and that's what this relationship is." 7. JayZ and Beyonce worked through his infidelities. How do you survive infidelity when the whole world is watching? JayZ and Beyonce turned their personal pain into an epic tale of resilience. Unless you've been living under a rock, you know Solange hit JayZ in an elevator at the Met Gala in 2014. After TMZ shared the security camera footage with the world, Beyonce, JayZ, and Solange released a statement apologizing for the incident. Though they did not say why Solange attacked her brother-in-law, many believe she was upset over JayZ's reported infidelity. A few months later, Bey alluded to the Met Gala fracas on Flawless Remix. Of course, sometimes shit goes down when it's $1 billion on the elevator. And since then, Beyonce and JayZ haven't shied away from touching on their marital issues. On 2016's Lemonade, the songstress hinted at infidelity on JayZ's part with songs like "Don't Hurt Yourself" and "Pray You Catch Me." On the 444 track "Kill JayZ," JayZ raps, "You egged Solange on, knowing all along all you had to say was you were wrong. You almost went Eric Benet, let the baddest girl in the world get away." In a 2017 interview with the New York Times Style magazine, JayZ opened up about working through his infidelities and mending things with Beyonce. The hardest thing is seeing pain on someone's face that you caused and then have to deal with yourself, the rapper said. Most people don't want to do that. You don't want to look inside yourself, and so you walk away.
How many years are we talking about? I can't do that kind of math.
46. Steven Tyler and Julia Holcomb. What happens when an iconic rocker takes custody of a teenager to make the relationship legal? Steven Tyler's romance with Julia Holcomb raised serious eyebrows. Steven Tyler, the Aerosmith frontman, and Julia Holcomb had a relationship that raised many eyebrows due to their significant age difference. Tyler met Holcomb when she was still a teenager and he was in his mid-20s. Their relationship became serious quickly, with Tyler even becoming her legal guardian to sidestep some of the legal issues surrounding their age gap. Their time together was marked by extreme behavior and life on the road. Holcomb eventually left Tyler and later spoke out about the negative aspects of their relationship, revealing the challenges and difficulties she faced during that time.
Because I can change musicians whenever I like. And it tends to get into a format.
5. John Lennon and May Pang. How does one of the most famous marriages in music history survive an affair? John Lennon's lost weekend with May Pang changed his life. While still married to Yoko Ono, John Lennon had a well-publicized affair with May Pang, his and Ono's personal assistant. This arrangement began with Ono's approval, as she felt that some time apart might help their marriage. Pang and Lennon spent 18 months together in what Lennon later referred to as his lost weekend. Their relationship was, however, much more than just a fling. During this period, Lennon reconnected with his son Julian and recorded new music. Despite the eventual end of their affair, Pang's influence on Lennon was profound and lasting.
Hey, Di, I bought you a pair that, those are actually the ones that I use in the
4.
studio.
Jason Aldean's affair was talked about for years. How can one night out change everything? Jason Aldean's cheating scandal sent shockwaves through country music. Country singer Jason Aldean and his wife Brittany Aldean may have found marital bliss, but their relationship started as an affair that made country news headlines. In 2012, the Dirt Road Anthem singer was caught cheating on his wife of 12 years, Jessica Ussery, with Brittany, a former American Idol contestant and NBA cheerleader. Instead of denying the affair, Jason came forward and apologized. The truth is that I screwed up. I had too much to drink, let the party get out of hand, and acted inappropriately at a bar, Jason wrote on his Facebook. After trying to fix his marriage, the couple ultimately filed for divorce in April 2013. They also share 2 daughters. In 2014, E! News reported that Jason was officially dating Brittany. The two attended the 2014 CMT Awards, marking their first public outing together. That same year, the country star told Billboard he was tired of people continuing to discuss his affair. "Get over it already," Aldean declared. "I'm not blaming anybody. Obviously, a lot of this stuff is my own deal. But I could go on posting something on my page right now that says, hey, we just donated $5 million to a children's cancer research center, and somebody would get on there and go, you're an asshole cheater." Aldean and Brittany wed in 2015 and welcomed 2 children.
And the guitars, he says the keyboards are too loud, you know, this is a guitar
3. Bill Wyman and Mandy Smith. What happens when one of rock's most controversial relationships becomes public? Bill Wyman's romance sparked outrage that still resonates today. Bill Wyman, the Rolling Stones bassist, had a highly controversial relationship with Mandy Smith. When they met, Smith was only 13 years old and Wyman was in his late 40s. Their relationship became public when Smith turned 16, leading to widespread media outrage. They married when Smith was 18, but the marriage was short-lived, lasting just 2 years. The scandal and ethical questions surrounding their age difference in relationships still provoke discussion and reflection on the boundaries of consent and exploitation.
Oh, it must be a glamorous profession. I'm sure the landlord will approve.
2. Frank Sinatra had an affair with Ava Gardner. What do you get when one of the world's biggest crooners falls for a Hollywood starlet? Frank Sinatra's affair with Ava Gardner sent his life into a tailspin. Legendary singer Frank Sinatra married Nancy Barbato in 1939, but began an affair with actor Ava Gardner that was made public in 1950. Sinatra had already been known for his extramarital affairs, including one with Hollywood starlet Lana Turner, but his liaison with Gardner caught a lot of flack. As author J. Randy Taraborelli wrote in Sinatra Behind the Legend, the singer was labeled a cheater, while Gardner was criticized for getting involved with a married man. Around that time, Old Blue Eye's professional life was just as messy. In the early 1950s, MGM ended his contract and Columbia Records dropped him. 2 years would pass before Capitol Records scooped him up. Sinatra and Barbato divorced in 1951, and he married Gardner that same year. According to Daily Mail, Sinatra and his new wife faced many obstacles in their marriage. It became a turbulent relationship early on, and they fought in public constantly. Both stars were consumed by jealousy, they were unfaithful to one another, and Gardner had 2 abortions because she reportedly feared the relationship wasn't stable enough for children. Sinatra and Gardner called off their marriage in 1953, and their divorce wouldn't be finalized until 1957.
We didn't change them. They're the same tattoos we've always had. We just added to them. Added a little more.
1. Tommy Lee and Pamela Anderson. What's the most infamous celebrity couple affair of all time? Tommy Lee and Pamela Anderson's explosive romance takes the top spot. Tommy Lee, the drummer for Motley Crue, and actress Pamela Anderson had one of the most publicized and explosive relationships in rock history. They famously got married just days after meeting each other, marking the beginning of a wild and highly publicized romance. Their relationship, while filled with intense passion, was also marked by frequent scandals, including the infamous release of a private video. Their dramatic ups and downs were closely followed by the media, making their affair one of the most talked about in rock history. Despite their separation, their story remains a notable example of the wild side of rock star romances. Thanks for watching, everyone. And don't forget, check out our other videos on shocking celebrity scandals and career-ending moments. Click here to watch now, and we'll catch you in the next one.